Did you realize just how many material changes there have been between the Yeezy 700 V2s and the Yeezy 700 V3s? I did not, even though I did review the Azil, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologize, the Azil Yeezy 700 V3s, doing right there, and I did review those guys for the channel, and I did pick up on some of the changes to the materials to it. But then when I dug into these guys, the Alvahs, and again, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologize, the Yeezy 700 V3 Alvahs, I was looking at these guys and I found out, what's that material they're talking about? I don't know what that is. Let's go research that. Ooh, that's interesting. Read a little bit. Oh, there's another material. What does that mean? That was PU before, now we have RPU. I wonder what that's interesting. And the more I dug into it, the more I found that there were different materials, like completely. It's almost like a whole new stew from the material point of view. From the silhouette point of view, everybody's like, yes, the V3s and the V2s look very, very different. But from a material point of view, they are extremely different. I didn't realize why, and I didn't realize how important those changes are. There are 3 different materials on these sneakers that are important to know about so that you can buy them knowing what kind of fit you're going to have in your foot, knowing what kind of ride you're going to have, knowing the comfort level that's going to come from having these guys wrapped around your feet. So I'm going to take you through today the materials and also an upcoming review for the Adidas Yeezy 700 V3 Alvah. This is the Tokyo Butter 23 Sneaker Channel. Tokyo Butter 23 Sneaker Channel des. Mainichi Absuruno de Mainichi Mite Kudasai. And every single day from Tokyo, Japan, I bring you upcoming sneaker content about sneaker releases, sneaker news, and sneaker reviews. And today it's the upcoming release of the Adidas Yeezy 700 V3 Alvah. And there is a lot to cram into this, and I'm gonna muck it up right from the get-go. Let's just be perfectly honest. I'm gonna make a mess of this because I'm gonna talk about 3 materials that are hard for me to remember. It's just, I know it sounds stupid, but usually it's like an acronym. Usually it says PU upper, or PU outsole, or PU midsole, or something to that effect. And you're like, yeah, PU, whatever. But I have to try and say polyurethane. And I don't have a chance of getting that right. But then there's is it EVA? And then there's also resin polyurethane. And I'm just not going to be able to get the words right. And I apologize for that in advance. I'm sorry, I'm not a scientist. Sorry. But it's important to know because those materials do things. They do different things. And they chose those materials for this shoe for specific reasons, and that's important because these guys don't have a Boost midsole, and everybody was like, why would you do that? The Boost is just considered at least equivalent to the best, most comfortable midsole material out there, if not the best by itself. It's either joint best or the best. So when the V2s went to V3s and they dropped the Boost midsole, it was like, nee-hoo, why are you doing that? But they dropped it for a reason, and very good reasons it turns out. So when I talk to you today about the materials that make up that outsole and that midsole, you'll be like, okay, I get it, I see, I understand what's going on, I know why they did it. And actually, you know what, I'm glad that they did it is one of the things that will come out of this video. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through that. We're going to have a look at the Adidas Yeezy 700 V3 Alvah, and then at the end of the video we'll talk about rare sneakers, and by rare sneakers we're talking one-of-ones or samples or prototypes or one of the videos, actually I'll put a link to it because Reebok Yeezys, I didn't know they existed. Okay, now I like sneakers. I might even go so far as to say love sneakers. I'm not a sneakerhead. I'm not rich enough to be a sneakerhead. And so maybe like that gives you an idea of my knowledge of sneakers. Like you're out there saying, yeah, Reebok Yeezys, everybody knows about them. You have more knowledge about sneakers than me. Or maybe you're out there saying, Reebok Yeezys? Has that man gone insane? And that's where I was with Reebok Yeezys. I was like, that's not a thing. But I think I put the link up already before because I was like, oh. But yeah, Reebok Yeezys. So rare ones. There's only 50 of each made, and Shoe Butter has all 4 pairs of those. So there's only 49 of each out there in the world because Shoe Butter has the other pairs. But he comes to our channel every Sunday and shows us rare sneakers. We'll talk about those rare sneakers at the end of the video. So let's get back to these. I digressed. I was like, woohoo! Off the charts, Butters off the reservation, and now he's back again to talk about the Yeezy 700 V3 Alvah and those materials on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, I don't usually do it this way, but we're going to go bottom to top. Usually we go top to bottom. And also usually I've researched the sneaker, and I have today, as I usually do. And that's, you know, where the information is that I'm coming to you with today is from my research and what I found out about the materials that make up that Yeezy 700 V3. And the first place to look is on the external part of the midsole and outsole, and it's made of polyurethane. And the important part of that is that polyurethane is soft, but it's not as soft as the Eva midsole. Now here's the thing, okay? There are two choices usually when you come to midsoles and outsoles. You've got polyurethane on one side and EVA on the other side. And I can't remember what EVA stands for. I know it's vinyl acetate, but I can't remember what the E part of it is, like ethanol, vinyl acetate or something like that. But anyway, polyurethane and EVA, polyurethane, EVA. Polyurethane is more durable but less soft. EVA is softer but less durable. Okay? Polyurethane is less soft but more durable. EVA is softer but less durable. So if you put EVA on the outsole of your sneaker, it will wear through very quickly, and you'll be moaning your backside off about how you bought these sneakers for $200 and they've worn through in a month. But that month would have been the softest, most comfortable month in footwear history. Or if your outsole midsole was only made from the polyurethane, then it would be a bit harder. It wouldn't be as comfortable. But it would last. It would last a lot longer than the EVA. So that's the sort of debate that goes on when they're designing shoes and deciding what they want to put on shoes. And that's what they did with these Yeezy 700 V3s, is they thought, well, let's put the two together. And what we'll do is we'll wrap the outer of this guy in the polyurethane so that it's a little bit harder but more durable. We don't want to wear it away and have people not wearing our sneakers for more than a month. But then within that, encased within that, and this is the key here for the 700 V3s, because instead of Boost, they've gone with the EVA material, which is soft and gives you that comfortable ride. Now the important part about that is that if you look at the sole, the outsole of these Alvahs, you can see through to the yellow paneling. Now on the ones that I reviewed before, whose name I've gotten completely before, the Aziels. On the Aziels, it was a blue. You looked through to blue sort of segments within the midsole there, and then on these guys it's yellow. But it's still looking through to the same thing, which is that EVA soft midsole in there instead of the Boost. And it caught a few people by surprise that it was not Boost. It was on the inside of these guys instead, going with the EVA material, and then the outside with that more durable PU or polyurethane. Apologies again for mixing that up. And that's the first place to look on the materials. But there are still two more materials that come into play on these sneakers that again surprised me and are a massive departure from the previous versions of the Yeezy 700, the V2s and the V1s. And the first place to look is on the external part of the upper. And the external part of the upper has this massive cage around the outside. Now, when I reviewed the Aziels, which I talked about before, I compared it to the Yeezy 451. Now, if you don't know what the Yeezy 451 is, you can find out here. And that was a prototype that never got off the design board. It might come in the future. Samples might appear online, things like that. You might, maybe there'll be a full run. Who knows? But I thought that when the V3s, the 700 V3s came out, I saw a big sort of connection to those 451s, and it's to do with that cage on the outside of the 700 V3s. And that cage on the outside is made from a similar material to the external part of the outsole midsole unit, but instead of just being straight up polyurethane, it's a polyurethane resin. And what that does is they've taken out a lot of the air from the polyurethane. So the polyurethane on the outsole has got air in it that gives you that bounce and that cushioning, but they've taken that out and made it into a more resin style, which is more solid and gives you more structure to the upper, and it is literally a cage. If it was just polyurethane, it would be too soft and too flimsy, and it would not actually have any structure to it. But because it's a resin variant of polyurethane, it's got more structure to it, it's more solid, and it gives you more of a kind of stability. That's the word I'm looking for, more stability in that upper. But then underneath that, instead of having the woven classic prime knit upper or the suede and the leathers that come with the 700 V1s and V2s, it's actually a mesh upper underneath there. It's a total departure from anything else that's been on the 700 before. Apparently it's more sustainable, this mesh, more recyclable. It's better for the environment and things like that than going straight in there with the animal hides, which is what suede and leather are. So it's a complete departure from what has come before with the V1s and the V2s. And hopefully behind me here you're looking into that and you're seeing that, the kind of horizontal arches or waves that run through the material on that mesh there, and hopefully again it's zoomed in close enough for you to get a sense of how different it is from prime knit and how different it is from the leathers and the suedes that have come in 700s before. And if we pan just a little bit from wherever we are right now and pan to the middle section of the upper, on the cage you can actually get a really close-up feel for that mesh kind of panel that comes on the side there, because the cage is kind of prongs that come up across the sneaker, but there's actually that panel of mesh within it, which is part of the cage, not part of the upper materials on there, which I didn't really pick up on when I did the Aziels earlier, but now that we've got a look at these guys here and you can see behind me, that kind of panel on there is kind of more distinct, even though it's black on black, which kind of surprised me that I could see it more on these, because it should have been more visible in black and white on the Aziels, but that's the way that it worked out for me. So all in all though, it's like every single material on the shoe has been changed from the 700 V2s to the 700 V3s. Every single material. There is not a stitch, literally or figuratively, on these sneakers that is the same between the 700 V2s and 700 VTs. I did V3s. It's a complete change. I didn't appreciate that when I reviewed the Aziels, but I sure do appreciate it now doing these Alvahs. And I understand the progression and the development that has been made technologically on these shoes. And I do like them. I've never been a huge fan of 700 V1s or V2s. I know that a lot of people drool over them, which is perfectly your right, as it is my right not to drool over them. The Wave Runners, the son of some man who swore off Yeezys forever likes the Wave Runners. So you can tell that they are a real quality shoe. If a Jordan head like that is actually going to rock Wave Runners, then you know it's a good shoe. You know what I'm saying? But I still don't get it. It's not my thing. It just isn't. I just don't. They never went for me, nor did the 500s. But these 700 V3s actually do. I kind of dig them. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's because it's a little bit sleeker than previous 700s were a bit more chunkier. But I don't know. These guys I kind of dig, even though they've lost that boost midsole. They're a third cheaper, with 700s having retailed for $300 a pop, and these guys apparently coming in at $200 a pop, so they are significantly cheaper. But I don't know, I dig them a bit more than the V1s and the V2s. So, but anyway, enough about that. All in all, great shoe. I like it very much. It's almost a triple black. There's a hit of white up there on the that kind of inner element of the sneaker underneath the laces there, but other than that, it's pretty much a triple black sneaker, and very cool. I think it is one of the nicest Yeezys I've seen in quite a while, to be honest. So it doesn't quite hold a candle to the 350s, because I think 350s are fire, but it still is a cool looking sneaker coming from the Yeezy line. Now, rare sneakers, I did say earlier in this video when I went off on a crazy tangent into another alternate universe, that I was talking about the rare sneakers coming to the channel every single Sunday, and I drop hints Tuesday through Saturday to you, so you can work out which shoe's coming. Yesterday's hint was quack again, and then today's hint is not track and field. Okay, yesterday's hint was quack quack again, and today's hint is not track and field. And if you can work out from those two hints which rare sneaker is coming to the channel on Sunday, hit me up with a comment down below and let me know which sneaker you think Shoe Butter is going to bring us, one of the rarest sneakers in the world. When he says he's bringing a grail, it's a grail. You can just take that to the bank. It's not, a personal grail. It's like everybody's grail, and that's what he brings to the channel every Sunday. For now though, it's time for me to sign off. Thank you guys for checking out my content, as I do every single day. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys mashing it up with me and enjoying what I'm doing right now. I've got a good vibe on the channel at the moment. I'm feeling like things are going really well, and that's definitely a two-way street. It's the content I put out that I have a good vibe about, but it's also you guys checking it out and talking about it. And somebody's been sharing my stuff on social media. So if you happen to be watching all the way to the end of this video and you're the one that shares my stuff on social media, or there's more than one, maybe there are more than one people out there sharing my stuff on social media. I appreciate it very, very much. Thank you guys for the support. For now though, time for me to sign off. But as I do this every single day, you know what that means? It means that you are guaranteed to see me tomorrow.